Members of the military are at risk of losing their careers, their livelihood, for behavior that is often not even a crime in the civilian system. That's why you need to know the facts. You need to know your options, and you need the help of experts when facing military justice.
Welcome to Military Justice. I'm your host, Jim Buchanan. Our guest today is Jonathan Crisp, who is a trial attorney specializing in military law at Crisp & Associates. Welcome, Jonathan. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Jim.
With all the awareness about opioid addiction and the increased usage of drugs, what's the military stance on that?
It is, as it has been for decades now, and it is drug use, illegal drug use is incompatible with military service.
And that's on all drugs or just illegal drugs?
It is on illegal substances, it is on controlled substances that are used outside of a prescribed window.
And then what's your stance on the opioid addiction crisis?
The military is not going to make a distinction, and they're not going to get caught up in what's going on with the crisis. Now, service members may obviously be more susceptible to, just like any civilian. However, they're going to look at it, and they being the military is going to look at it in terms of, are you still able to perform your job, and is it going to impact your ability to serve?
And then what are the consequences of being, well, in possession of or consuming illegal drugs?
So what you normally see in a pattern, if an individual is just possessing drugs or found in possession of them, say in the barracks, the command has a number of options available to them, anything from a court-martial to administrative separation, non-judicial punishment, things of that nature, and the same holds true for someone who comes up positive on a UA. So they're going to look at, normally they're going to say, depending on the rank of the individual, they will probably administer non-judicial punishment, whether it's Article 15, Captain's Mast, and then they're going to likely do an administrative separation.
And then how can this affect someone and their families?
You're going to lose money, you're going to lose time, and very likely your livelihood.
And then if you're accused of drug use, what's the first thing you should do?
First thing you should not do, let me flip it around, is obviously have a conversation with law enforcement until you've had an opportunity to talk to an attorney. And that attorney can tell you whether it's going to be in your best interest to talk, and specifically about what, or whether or not it would be a horrible idea to have a conversation with law enforcement. But you're going to want to reach out to somebody who can talk to you about a way to deal with the accusation. So if you are accused of it and it is a false accusation from your standpoint, there are ways we can substantiate that that position. And if it is a accurate accusation, there's ways we can deal with that as well.
Well, let's talk about that as a lawyer. What
Sure.
are some of the things that you can do?
If an individual comes and says, listen, I have no idea how I tested positive, I didn't do this, we're going to do anything from administer a polygraph and provide that to the command. We will get hair follicle testing done. We will look at the testing procedures that were implemented by DOD. Oftentimes there is a potential for cross-contamination that may not be readily apparent to someone who doesn't know what to look for. So, and that is a whole field that forensic toxicologists get involved in, and we have employed in many instances.
So procrastination obviously should be avoided. That's a fact. But let's say you did. I mean, how would it affect you?
If you're putting this off because it's just an unpleasant thing you don't want to deal with, you have the potential to miss deadlines for hearings, response dates to respond to the command notifications. You're going to make it harder for us to actually get, obviously experts have busy timelines, and that includes polygraphers, that includes toxicologists. So you're going to make it much harder to present a solid defense.
Jonathan, always good advice. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching Military Justice. If you're interested in learning more about today's topic, go to mymilitarylawyers.com. Remember, you need to know the facts, you need to know your options, and you need the help of experts when facing military justice.